Eastern Standard Time. It must be Q&A Monday with Debbie. Today is something a little different. Believe it or not, I'm actually not talking about vibration machines, but it doesn't mean that I won't talk lots. I'm coming to you today. I was trying to figure this out in Fahrenheit. We're minus 27 Celsius today, about -5, -6 Fahrenheit for my American friends. So it's a little chilly. Got my big girl sweater on today because it's chilly in the basement. But today's kind of cool. We're talking about gliding exercises, the GlideMaster in specific, as far as products go to Life Pro. There is a regular and a sale price on for this product. It is a really cool way to take your workout to the next level is one thing that I will say. But for many of my audience and the type of coaching I do, it's a very cool way to reduce and begin entering exercises and gain more function. So gliding, if you're not familiar with gliding, gliding is the movement. There's lots of different things out there, from gazelles to discs to a slide board, which is what the GlideMaster we're going to be talking about today is. But sliding exercises can be for full or partial body workouts. They can help strengthen your core, your glutes, your hams, and much, much more, depending on the exercises that you're going to be doing. And I'm going to go through a couple of examples of very little easy things that you can progress to and things you can build up to for more challenge. You can increase intensity without increasing impact. That's a really kind of a key point here that I want to focus on. So for many of you, you may have muscular strength, but maybe you've had a weakness or an injury in a ligament or a supporting structure. So it's a really good way to not only build muscle, but ligament strength, which is, especially when we're working with joints or trying to repair joints. You're going to work on enhancing lateral strength and coordination, and we're going to make some simple exercises a little bit more effective. So if you're dealing with range of motion or fatigue or pain, sometimes you want to do dynamic movements, but it's hard to do when you're bearing all of your body weight, and you can be limited in what you can do in a seated position. So this is going to open up a range of expansion, if you will, on basic exercises. It's not always about learning a whole bunch of new things. And of course, if you don't have a whole arsenal of exercises, there's a fabulous poster that comes with today's tool, the GlideMaster Body Workout. You could use this as a head-to-toe full body workout, or perhaps there's an area of your body that you're trying to target or are conditioning for something. So there's examples of different types of squats and lunges and planks. You certainly would take a bit of time perhaps working through this entire poster, but we wanted to give you a good variety of options and visuals as to things that you can do. Some of these exercises you might be doing now already, and sometimes we just get a little stuck up in the routine, and maybe this is a good way to mix things up. So engage more muscle groups, increase challenge, and of course overall results with that. And it can offer less impact. So I'm going to start with the less impact stuff. I'm going to flip back into camera here because I was looking at notes. Thank you for posting. My superstar behind the scenes, Jen. The sale price in the US today is $49.99. So if you've been looking for that last minute Christmas idea, you've got, I think, until the 20th if you want delivery in the US for any of Life Pro's fabulous products. You'd have to check with Amazon, but probably the same time frame. Or perhaps you're just looking for something for yourself. I like talking fitness before Christmas because we get on this whole whirlwind into New Year's, and then we get into the guilt of, well, it's New Year's. I must have a resolution. Don't resolve just because to do something different just because it's the new year. Get started now and take some of the pressure off and let your friends catch up in the new year. Regular price is $59 on this, so we're $10 off today. If you're joining me today, hello, Jamie. Please let me know where you are joining me from, and if you've done glide exercises before. Roseanne and Amber have also done some amazing videos on this already. If you're looking for something more workout, today I want to appeal to the crowd that sometimes struggles with exercise or functional exercises, and maybe you have a vibration machine, but maybe you're getting bored of what I'm telling you to do on your vibration machine, and you want to add some new things. So in the bag, what comes in it? I have a slide board underneath my feet. I've got a black floor, so you're maybe not seeing it as nicely as I would like you to. But at the end of it, my floor is foam. So this isn't suction cupping to the floor. But at the end, there's 2 suction cups that come in the kit. You don't require any tools. These are what's called self-locking bolts. So you simply apply your suction cup. I'm simply using a couple of 3-pound sandbags to just keep this flat. I just took this out of the box last night, so you know what, when you get a new poster, how it's kind of rolled up. It's flattened out substantially since last night. In the box are 2 little booties. If you do slide exercises now, you probably have something like this already. I'm putting them on backwards, I can tell. Somebody was thinking. These are a large size, so there's a couple of inches. I've got a huge Amazon-sized foot, as my kids always say. And what you'll notice is when you put these little booties on, it kind of feels like you're on a skating rink. And I, of course, living in the great white north of Canada, a lot of kids use this type of training at facilities or other areas for skating and skiing. And right now, I'm just simply moving my legs from side to side. And what that requires the muscle groups in my legs to do is work in a different way. And it's working that inner part of the thighs that wears out the jeans first, the outer parts of the thighs, the hips. For a lot of my folks dealing with lymphatic issues, sluggish lymph systems, when you move lymph moves, this would be great underneath the desk or underneath the kitchen table, instead of sitting there and doing things like this with your feet that tend to be a little, they can be uncomfortable on arthritic joints and things like that. What's nice about this is you can get movement with no impact whatsoever. Maybe you're just sliding your feet back and forth, or maybe you're extending, side to side. Maybe we're doing a little bit of an arm on that to get a little bit of movement into the upper arms. It doesn't have to be a big, bad workout, but just by sitting here, we're moving lymph and we're starting to stimulate circulation and lymphatic flow in the lower body. For those of you that are not stable and do not have good stability, I would recommend working with a walking stick or perhaps putting a bar stool beside you if you feel you want something to hang on to. I'm going to see that I'm going to run out of room here with my camera. Okay. So the next progression, and I'm gonna do a squat as an example. So for those of you that are exercising, doing static exercises on the floor, but perhaps big dynamic movements aren't always most comfortable, you can do sliding exercises while you're doing your squats, alternating legs. Perhaps do 3 reps this side, keeping this leg bent, good posture, shoulders back. Roseanne did a really good session on this. Her level 1 workout I would recommend. Staying squatted. Now we're going to switch legs. You feel fairly stable with the weight on that leg if your posture is in check. If you're leaning all over, you're going to feel like you're sliding. So make sure you're good and stable. You should be able to lift the one leg. And we're just extending this one forward, perhaps doing some little circles, whatever you feel you're up for. But it really takes the impact out of a lot of these exercises. For those of you that do yoga, Pilates, you're working on floor stretching. There's a couple of things I was playing around with last night. The child's pose is now my new favorite thing to do on this mat. I'm going to take my big warm sweater off for just 1 second. So for this one, I'm simply on my knees, and I didn't put the booties on my hands. You're not putting a whole lot of body weight into it, but you can just slide yourself out. Hold that pose for 2 to 3 seconds. Slide back and forth. Maybe your house is completely carpeted and you find that, you're having to walk in some of these positions. This is a really, really good thing to be using as a stretching enhancement tool. My daughter for baton right now is working on the splits. And I used to be able to do them 3 ways from Sunday, but not lately. So something she thought would be a good idea last night was to work on some of her stretching. And what I had her simply do was start with one knee stationary on the floor and have her extend, point that toe. You'll feel that nice stretch through the hamstring. Again, make sure those shoulders are back. Good posture. Make sure that we're breathing. and bring that leg back, right? As I always say in my sessions, you are only limited by your imagination and your range of motion. Just by doing this movement, I can tell you how many hours I sat in front of my computer last night. I can feel it up the backside of my hamstring. So, and of course, the logical, you're always going to have one side that's got more flexibility than the other. Okay. Now, I wouldn't recommend trying splits on this for the first time in 3 decades like I did last night, but certainly, you know, just allowing yourself to push, extend with control. We don't want you putting yourself in a situation where you're overextending yourself and you can't unextend, if you will. So that was something we were having a bit of fun with last night. You could turn that exercise sideways. What I'm trying to do with her is just work one leg at a time to a degree. As it is winter up here, not only are we inside and seated more often, but we're also doing a lot more snow shoveling and other things. So I'm trying to teach her to stretch and prep. So this is another one we were doing last night, just to begin that movement. Okay, this board, I'm about 5'9.5". I used to be 5'10", I always say. So you've got a lot of length to work with. I think, you know, anyone up to about 6'1", 6'2" is what's recommended. Shouldn't have any issues doing leg extensions and things like that on this machine, or on this board. The next sort of set of exercises that you could visualize yourself doing is not only some stretching, but some ab work. So for those of you that have never done planks on the floor, I wouldn't recommend doing them the first time on the machine or on the glider, just like a vibration plate. It's going to increase the challenge of those exercises. But for those of you that are doing planks now, especially for those of you that maybe want to take it a little further and add some dynamic movements, I was really having some fun last night with this. And kind of depends on how you want to do your planks. Make sure that your weight is in balance. I was coming up on my hands. I get more strength into the arms. It's more like a push-up. You certainly can come down and do something more traditional on the forearms, but I think you'll see me better on camera if I'm up like this. And so last night I was doing sort of some modified mountain climbers where I was sliding 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure your shoulders are situated above your hands so that your mass is majority on your arms. And if you wanted to pick up the pace and have a bit more cardio effect, it's almost like a running Deb, running in motion. I feel like the bionic woman. So if you know, this is a really good way to increase some cardio and add more dynamic movements at a faster pace with less impact to even those core positions. That one was fun. I really like that. And you can turn your planks around. As you know, I like to do reverse planks. You know, you could lift one leg at a time. It's a little bit more intense on the glutes, but that one's a little bit kinder on the low back. So again, very cool, very simple. There's really not a lot of explaining to do on this. You know, make sure that you don't have a lot of grit or things on the bottom of your socks when you're using this. Just keep it kind of free of particles and dust. It'll wipe easily clean with a soft cloth, a soft damp cloth. If you do not have a floor in which this will suction cup to, you can simply just add some weight to the ends. As I've done today, nothing was moving around. I didn't have any issues. And on the underside of the mat itself, of the board, there is a grip strip. So kind of like that shelf liner that you might get at the store. So there is something to keep it in place. But because mine's new, it was rolling up a little bit there last night. Simple, okay? I just wanted to review very quickly what else comes with it. And then I'm going to get to some questions. First and foremost, and the most important, when you open your box from the good folks at Life Pro, as always, there is, that looks better. Please send this in for an extra set of booties. I guarantee you guys are going to have so much fun with this. It's not going to be just you using it. So get yourself a second set of booties. If it is just for you, then you've got another pair for laundry in between. And just a reminder to register that if you can get your lifetime warranty. And you must register within 7 days. Plus, if you do that, you're going to get the extra pair of booties. So there's the bait. Register your warranty, people. Why wouldn't you? It's a fabulous product. The price, again, US is $49.99. You still got a couple of days to get things shipped before Christmas. This is also in the box. So this is it certainly is a workout. It's a pretty big one, but there's all kinds of ideas depending on what you're conditioning for and what type of areas you're trying to target. In the box, really the only assembly required is there are these feet, and on the feet there's a screw. You take that off and insert it into the ends, and you'll see you don't need any tools or anything. You just turn the wheel and it'll be tightened on there. And there's an extra one. So I've got 4 installed, and there was an extra one in the box. And last but not least, of course, trademark color. You've got a manual in here, which also just has some examples, some good reference charts, which is a good compliment to have with your poster. And then if you want to take this with you, or perhaps you want to use it with some of your equipment at the gym, or you just want to have it at the office and set it up under your desk, it rolls up and comes with a carrying case. So if you did want to roll up your mat and your booties and take them with you, minimal weight, whether you're doing a big workout or not, you can get some easy movement or some stretching throughout the course of the day. And you don't have to plug it into the wall. There's no power other than your own calories required to fuel this one. So very simple, but I'm having a lot of fun with this. I've worked with some commercial versions in training facilities with some of my hockey guys over the years, and incorporating something like this with your vibration plate workout, with your elliptical, with whatever type of stuff you have, whatever you're training for with Life Pro. This is just another enhancement, just another way to do some of the exercises you're already doing now without breaking the bank and having to take out a second mortgage to get into some of this equipment. So $49 is the sale price. As I said, until tomorrow, you still got time to receive your goodies in time for Christmas, whether it's for someone else or yourself. And if you are looking ahead to the new year, it's a tough time of year for a lot of folks, and we can get caught up in the consumer side of this holiday. Don't forget to invest in yourself. Make time for yourself and your self-care. And this is another little simple tool that you can maybe put under the tree and get mentally committed before the new year comes. I don't like New Year's resolutions. It's kind of like pressure. And there's a lot of marketing that caters to that. And I find if I start talking about it a week or two beforehand, the pressure tends to be a little bit less. You've gotten over the hardest part, which is just getting started. So if you are eating a little bit more over the holidays, or, drinking a little bit more and sleeping a little bit less, at least if you're keeping even a little bit of movement going or a little bit of activity, it tends to offset the effects of those indulgences. And, we're kind of already on our way in that routine throughout the holidays versus, oh my goodness, I haven't done anything for a week. So don't beat yourself up. Do a little if you can. And if I don't see you before the holidays, have a fantastic Christmas if you celebrate, or however you celebrate. And I will actually be here next Monday on Boxing Day, same time, same place, with another cool product that is not a vibration machine called the GlideMaster. I'm going to show you how to get some glutes, get some toned hams and things like that. So I'm looking forward to showing you that tool next week. Boxing Day, 3 p.m. my time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 2 p.m. Pacific. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a fantastic Christmas holiday. If you're spending it with loved ones or friends. If you're not, celebrate yourself and take a load off, and hopefully you can wind things down for a little. Have a great week, everyone. Don't work too hard. Let's take a look here and see if I have any questions. I'm saying goodbye before I checked. Jamie Lynn, hello. Facebook user, I don't know who you are, but yes, Life Pro does have fantastic prices, terrific prices, she says. What a good feature for keeping it still. I have a lot of clients that suffer with anything impact. And, something like this is also portable. So sometimes even with my vibration machines, as much as I love them, 20, 30 pounds when you're dealing with chronic pain and swelling, may as well be 1,000. It's hard to move things around, and sometimes put them where you need to when you have setbacks. Maybe you want it in your bedroom, or so something like this. If you are dealing with lymphatic issues, like I say, when you move, lymph moves. This is just a really good low impact, really a cost effective tool to certainly get the lower limbs going. And if you've got the ability to stand and gain, a lot of you dealing with hypermobility and the joints and things, you can condition and strengthen those muscles and ligaments without the impact of other traditional activities. Hello from Campbell River. Hopefully you're not as cold as we are today. Hello from Rochester, New York. I've never done glide exercises. I've done them a long time ago, like I say, but again, much of my experience was in the commercial days when you couldn't afford to take these things home, and all these do-it-yourself options are just really, I get excited because it gives you that consistency piece, or the option. I don't sell the discipline. I wish that I could send you a pill for that. But if you have these things at home for a fraction of the cost of what you'd be spending to go use at a trainer's facility, you've got the ability to be more consistent. Therefore, your results tend to show in themselves. And if you are dealing with chronic conditions, you're using this just to get things moving for relaxation or lymph. Really, you can do it whenever the heck you want throughout the course of the day, as opposed to getting in a car and having to go somewhere. So do-it-yourself therapies. Nobody does it better than Life Pro for the price. And they let us ramble and give you ideas on how to use some of these things, because there's never a perfect way. There's never a perfect way to the finish line. Hello, Bella Vista. Okay, so you're from Arkansas, Jamie. Cool. Well, I think this one was kind of easy today. So, like I said, there's a lot of ideas included with the exercise poster. You maybe have some of your own already. And as I say, you are always only limited by your imagination and your range of motion. So yours will be there tomorrow, the California State Parks, North Coast. Cool. Have some fun with it, or, put it under the table while you're having dinner. Just, keep yourself from falling asleep once all that turkey digests. I look forward to some feedback from you. And for the rest of you, any questions, or if you're partaking over the holidays, I love hearing how you keep yourself moving throughout these challenging times of year. So I'll see you again, like I say, on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern for a new product, and maybe a little bit of motivation to get things going after the big holiday feed. Have a great weekend, week ahead, and Christmas weekend, everybody. Can you actually hockey skate on it? I knew somebody was going to ask me. I would think so. If you're stable enough and you've got the stability to do it, I wouldn't maybe pick up a huge fast pace. You'll have to gauge depending on how well it adheres to your floor. But I was going through some of those dynamic motions last night. I do recommend having a pole like Roseanne did in her session, or a chair back or something to maybe offer yourself some stability when you're trying that one out. But don't take on more than you're ready for, please. Thank you for joining me, and let me know how that goes, Facebook user. Have a great week. Merry Christmas.